We started working on Aboriginal history in society and history, and then we sort of evolved it into a dance. It was based on a lot of the weaving that we did at the museum, and just how everyone was being accepted into their culture and everything. So.
Go into groups and like make up our own dance moves after the weaving session that we had at the museum and stuff.
We all put our ideas together and we sort of came up with one sort of really big, good piece of work.
I was meant to be an invader, and it was meant to be really scary for Indigenous people, and we went to like we were doing all the traditional dances like the grapevine and the grand chain, and
such a great experience to do, and I loved making up dance moves, and we based a lot on knotting and tying and coming together, so yeah, it's great.
In the part where there was all different groups coming in, we're all weaving different patterns and doing different things to our bodies to signify that.
Well, me and Tegan, we were pulling in kelp, and Tegan was cutting the grass so we could go and weave and like twine into baskets and stuff. I just hope for the best and like make it go out to national and stuff, and you know.
I really liked it because I've never done anything like that before, so I really enjoyed it.
Started with grade 7. We usually do a Tasmanian Aboriginal culture unit, and when the tayenebe exhibition started, we thought, well, that can be the good lead-in for our unit. So we took the girls down to the museum and we actually did a workshop with some of the Aboriginal elders, and we learned a little bit of the weaving, and we brought that experience back into the classroom. Looked at the importance of maintaining culture, because that had come through a lot at the museum, but the importance of maintaining and these links with our culture, and to use culture to tell stories. When we came back to the school, we worked on quite a bit on how Aboriginal culture had been impacted upon by white settlement, and then because the girls were doing dance at the same time, it was a great opportunity for them to demonstrate their understanding through a different medium.
I was very interested in looking for a stimulus for movement, and when I heard that the tayenebe exhibition was coming, and I was able to liaise with the society and history teacher and look at ways we could work together on a cross-cultural and cross-discipline experience. The tayenebe exhibition gave a great opportunity because weaving is a skill that you can use where you're using your hands, you're using your body. It's very much an embodiment of a skill, and also it's something that's passed on from generation to generation. I was very interested in weaving in different cultures, and so the idea of having patterns from European heritage and patterns from Indigenous heritage came into this as a stimulus for the dance. We abstracted that movement, created sequences, and turned that into dance sections, and also I then introduced some new movement, which was the traditional European movement, so the grapevine, the grand chain, various other folk dance forms, and looked at patterns that came out of those. That we didn't do exactly the traditional, we used those as inspiration and abstracted them. It was a great project, yeah, very enjoyable. The process itself was quite challenging at times because we were dealing with some quite sophisticated ideas for this age group, and they came up with the information and sequences and put it all together beautifully. I act as a director, so I helped them in bringing it all together.
I think it's worked extremely well. They're actually coming back into the classroom and talking about what they've done in dance, explaining what the different moves mean. It's even coming through in some of the work that we're doing at the moment on, we're now looking at white settlement and looking at the role of women and how that's changed, and so we will link that back to looking at, well, how's it changed for Aboriginal women as well.